Hello, 6th graders. For Tuesday, April 28th, your math assignments are pages 23, 24, and 25. You are doing writing and interpreting algebraic expressions, as well as evaluating algebraic expressions. So let's start off by understanding what exactly an algebraic expression is. An algebraic expression is an expression using numbers and variables. So remember that our variables are our letters that are in place of a number until we figure out what that number actually is. So in the first one, our variable would be the number n. We don't know what it is yet, so we are placing an n in for. So we are going to write what we read in the phrase, so 12 more than 8 2/10 times a number n. So we have 12 more, so we know that that will be adding. It's 12 more than 8.2 times the number n. So we're going to start off by saying 8.2. And remember, when we have variables next to a number, we don't have to write the times symbol. If it works just the same by just putting the n right next to the number, because we know with it right next to each other, it means to multiply anyways. So 8.2 times n with 12 more than that. So 12 more than whatever that would be. Alright, let's go to number 2. And then I will do one of the word problems as well. So number 2, 3 less. So 3 less than, so we're going to subtract 3 from something. 3 less than the quotient, so we know quotient. A quotient is the answer to a division problem. So the quotient of 18 and a number m. So 18, the quotient of that, so 18 divided by the number m. So the quotient of this, and then 3 less than it. So we're going to subtract 3. It's important when you read the problems to know in what order it goes in. It's not saying that we're doing 3 minus the quotient. It is 3 less than this. So less than, we would put this in parentheses, because we know that we have to do this first, and then it's going to be 3 less than this number. Let's go to a story problem. We'll do number 5. 5 friends split the cost of parking at an amusement park. Each of them also buys a $30 ticket. Write an algebraic expression that represents the amount of money each friend spends. Identify any variables. So when we identify a variable, we are going to say what that variable means. So we know we have 5 friends who split the cost of parking at an amusement park. So since they're parking, we're going to give that a variable of p for parking. And each of them also buys a $30 ticket. Write an algebraic expression that represents the amount of money each friend spends. Identify any variables. So what we want to know is how much money each friend spends. Not the total amount of money, just how much each friend spends. So identify a variable, so we're going to say P is the cost of parking. Cost of parking. I'm just going to I lost my mouse, so I have to use the computer again. Okay, so 5 friends split the cost of parking. So we're not sure how much that is, but if we're dividing it between 5 friends, it would be P divided by 5 for one person, because we just want to know how much one person spends. So P divided by 5, and they each buy a $30 ticket. So to find how much one person spends, we're going to add 30. Alright, so there's that one. We've got number 6 to do by yourself. And the 2 up above. Alright, interpret the meaning of the algebraic expression in each problem. Determine the meaning of this. So we're going to determine the meaning of the algebraic expression. Andrew writes the algebraic expression 2s plus 2.79 to represent the cost of his lunch. He bought 2 sandwiches and a large drink. Identify any variables, coefficients, and terms in the expression. Tell what each represents. So variables, so we'll start with that. I'll color code it to make it more understandable. So variables. The variable in this problem is the s. So 2s, we know he bought 2 sandwiches, so s is going to equal sandwiches. The cost, so I'm going to put money per sandwich. Alright, we're going to move on to coefficients. A coefficient is the number that comes before the variable. So in this case it would be 2. 2 is the number of sandwiches he bought. So the number, this is a symbol for number of sandwiches. I cannot write sandwich again. Okay, so that's the coefficient. And then the rest of the terms in the expression, so the last number here, the terms in the expression would be 2.79. So we know, we've already said that he bought 2 sandwiches, so we got this one down. I will go ahead and color code this as well. So sandwiches, red, coefficient, blue, and then we've got our terms, our other terms, which is the other thing that he bought, which is the large drink. So 2.79 is equal to the cost of the drink. So that's what you're going to be doing in the rest of the problems on the next page. If it helps for you to color code it like I did, please feel free to. It helps me just organize what I know in the problem, and then to also make sure that I am using all of the parts. So you have 8 and 9 to do. 8, you're just going to read it and do the same thing that I did, identifying variables, coefficients, and the other terms in the expression, and then tell what each represents. So just like I did above, writing S equals the cost per sandwich, 2 is the number of sandwiches, and 2.79 is the cost of the drink. And then number 9, you're going to write a situation, so create your own word problem that could be used for 3s plus 2.15. Moving on to page 25, evaluating algebraic expressions. So we are going to do one of my favorite mathematical sayings. Not sure if it's extremely mathematical, but it was always one of my favorites in middle school and high school. It is called to plug and chug. So we can see right here they're telling us what m is equal to. So m equals 3. So like I said before, if you have a number and a letter right next to each other, you multiply them. So they plugged in 3 right here. 5 times 3 plus 26. And then they chugged it. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 26 equals 31. So you are going to plug it in, and then you are going to see if the student's answer is correct. We know that 15 plus 26 is actually 41 and not 31, so we would just go ahead and cross off the student answer and write your own answer. Write what it actually is. So we're going to do, I will do number 2 with you. So 8 with x plus 2 in parentheses when x equals 6. So just like they did, 8 okay, it looks like they did 8 times 6 instead of adding 6 plus 2 first, because we know that for PEMDAS, parentheses come first, so you would actually do what's in the parentheses first. So if we rewrite it ourselves and do it the correct way, we would know that we start with 6 plus 2, so 8 times 8, because 6 plus 2 equals 8, and 8 times 8 is actually 64, right? So they are wrong, so we will cross off their answer. So you are going to do the same thing for the next problems. You are going to plug in the variable, plug in the number that represents the variable, and then chug it, which means to solve it. It's just an easy way to remember what to do. If there are 2, you're going to put them in for the right letter. So make sure you put in 18 for Q and 4 for P. Same thing down here. Put in 8 for W and 2 for K. You can already see right here they put in the 2 for the W and then the 8 for the K. So you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. And then the last one, check your answer to problem 2 by using a different strategy. So I did it with you. Use a different strategy to check your answer. That means do something differently than I did to see if your answer is correct. Okay? So that is all for Tuesday's math work. Check back in later for Wednesday's work. I will see you all in a Zoom meeting, hopefully. Bye.